couple of tech wizards here. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You ready to go then?
Yes.
Okay. Tresha Rodriguez, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate your time very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And it's Trisha, like a tree, Trisha Rodriguez.
Okay. Well, hey, how about we redo that since we're already editing stuff? Trisha, got
Yeah,
it.
think of a tree, Trisha Rodriguez Bivens, but Trisha Rodriguez, that's fine. Yeah, like a tree.
Okay.
It's just Trisha. I know, I should have told you that. A lot of people get it wrong. It's not your fault.
Okay.
Oh my God, Paul,
All
we'll
right,
figure
we're
this out
rolling.
eventually.
Okay, we're going in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Trisha Rodriguez, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. I appreciate your time very much.
Oh, Paul, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. It's totally a pleasure.
Right on. So before we begin, could you just first tell the listeners and myself a little bit about who you are and what it is you do?
Sure. I am a mom in Arizona, and I also host the show Patriot Nightcap on YouTube. And we premiere on Wednesday, Sundays, 8 Mountain Standard Time. I'm also a senior director of a health and wellness company out of Idaho Falls. So we're very much into our toxic-free products. We take it away from the big box stores, and we basically just redirect what we're already spending online. And I have a pretty active life with my daughter, and it's a pleasure to be here. But I too interview people as well on YouTube, and I'm David Nino Rodriguez's sister, by the way.
And real quick, tell people who he is.
Okay, David Nino Rodriguez. He has a podcast, and he has a show called Nino's Corner, and you can find him at ninoscorner.tv. And he also does a lot of live shows on YouTube. David Nino Rodriguez. He's otherwise known as Nino, and he's a huge patriot. He interviews some fascinating people on YouTube, from Laura Eisenhower to Victor Avila, Juan 07, and he has a huge following. I'm sure your crowd will probably know who Nino Rodriguez is.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I was out of the loop. I knew him more so as a boxer, a heavyweight champion boxer. But anyway, that's all.
He definitely is. It's funny that I didn't mention that. I followed my brother around for years watching him box. Yeah, he has an incredible record, and he has since done like a springboard into another life where he's now interviewing people and very successful at it.
Awesome. All very interesting. So let's go ahead and jump right into things, though. And
Okay.
today we're talking about where we're filming the second part of a mask mandate. It's you versus Scott Willie. And I'll just go ahead and ask, what are your thoughts on mask mandates at this time in public spaces and in public schools? Are they a necessary thing, or does the good outweigh the bad? What do you think?
So Paul, I'll tell you, I've had experiences with both. Okay, so I left New York, a very blue state, when everything sort of broke out, and there was a lot of fear mongering, which there still is today. I was living in New York, and my brother called me up and he said, okay, this is only going to get worse. You should probably leave this tyrannical state because it's not good. So I didn't trust what was happening. I took my daughter out of school. I didn't like the idea of putting a face mask, a face diaper on her and not allowing her to breathe. I had unfortunate experiences there where I was, in a gym, and I was told by some moms, listen, you better, go stand in your circle and, put your face diaper on. And I just thought it was an overreach. I think it's child abuse. And I basically left New York. I said, okay, this is not for me. This is definitely a lot of fear mongering. That was what my gut told me. And I moved to Arizona. I was able to relocate there. My husband got a job offer and we left. So cut to, a year and a half later, the moms and all of the people in New York are still living under this blanket of fear. Schools are shut down constantly. If you want to play date, you have to prove that, your child's taken the jab, and, they're allowed to play for half an hour, but they have to wear the face diaper. I mean, it just goes on and on. Meanwhile, I'm now out here in Arizona. There's much more, freedom. There's freedom over fear. People aren't fear mongering. And my daughter is very much enjoying school. And I would say 95% of her class is not wearing the face diaper. Otherwise, I wouldn't have her there. And I can tell you, Paul, I've been a former theater teacher, and I've gone to her school like on Fridays, and I've seen what's happening there firsthand. You have 95% of the kids that are, they're freely breathing, they're interacting, they're having a great time. Then you have the 5% who are sitting in the back, they won't participate, they look like they're traumatized. And it's ridiculous. And our school has not been shut down. Kids go to school every day. We've had a few instances where I got an email and I was told, okay, there's a child that tested positive, but they don't shut the school down. Everybody just keeps going. I mean, and we now know statistically, it's the elderly and it's people with comorbidities that are truly affected by this in terrible ways. I'm not trying to downplay this, but I'm trying to put it in perspective, because I've experienced both scenarios. And I can tell you, the children who are not wearing their face diapers and enjoying a normal life are healthy. They're going to school, they're not staying home, they're interacting, and we're having a much better time of it out here. So I feel bad for the moms in New York, and we're much happier here in Arizona for sure.
Mm-hmm. So the big thing that's going to jump out to people in what you just said was, firstly, you called them face diapers. Can you explain why you called them that instead of masks?
Okay, let's be honest here. We're all playing charades. We walk into a restaurant. We all know that if you go to a hospital, you're going to see N95s or hazmat outfits. That's probably your best shot at blocking a virus, okay, is a hazmat outfit. You're not going to see people in face diapers or cloth masks. Those are porous. Those are ineffective. So in my opinion, people are walking around with their cloth porous, face diapers, and we're playing charades. Does it make sense to you that you can walk into a restaurant and you're told, you're forced to have this face diaper on, but the second you get to your table and you need a sip of water or you're going to eat, you can take it off, and like, what is this it defies common sense. Are you going to now tell me that there's a force field that goes up and we're all safe because I'm sitting at a table? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, and it's porous. So what I think we need to focus on, if you want to be proactive, is your health. So if you're worried, look at your gut health. Are you exercising? Are you taking your vitamins, your D3, your zinc? Are you going toxic free? Or are you supporting the big box stores and putting harmful chemicals on yourself and killing yourself and supporting big pharma? So I would say switch your focus, stop the fear mongering, and go with your gut health. Focus on building your immunity. This is what makes sense. And you will feel so much better about yourself being proactive and exercising and eating healthy. There is a relationship between gut health and your mind. I truly believe that. I've experienced that myself. So if you want to sit there and be fearful and mask up, and listen, the way that I look at it is, and I don't want to get, it's hard not to get political, but it is the left progressives who are really driving this. So, I'm sorry to say this, but they want to have their, my body, my choice. They want to have their 900 abortions. Okay. But God forbid, you better put that, that cloth mask over your nose. I mean, it's insanity. Like, it's the nexus of insanity, in my opinion. So yes, I lean right. And yes, I believe in freedom over fear. I think a lot of people are caving to fear mongering, and it's driving our society. And I'd like to see more alternative media out there talking about this. And I'd like to see more moms speaking out. I think this is child abuse. You have a lot of kids who, some are special needs, and they're told, okay, you can't get the help that you need because they need this assisted educational experience, but they're told to stand 6 feet apart. You've got kids who break out in rashes, infantile. There's a lot of, and we don't even touch on natural immunity. That's not even being discussed. It's my understanding natural immunity is far, you're much more likely to survive this virus with natural immunity. We're not even talking about that. It's just constantly, drugs, the jab, drugs, the jab. Nobody talks about health and wellness, going toxic free, building your immunity. So we'd rather cave to the fear, take our drugs, and I don't know, stay fat, I guess, eat at Marie Callender's, I don't know, but I'm fed up, and I feel like I'm voicing my opinion for a lot of moms who feel very fed up. And I think that our children are unfortunately being victimized by this. I think it's child abuse, and I feel terrible for them. That's my opinion.
Very interesting, and I know for a fact that you are not alone. And of course, we'll have to see how people respond to this video, but I know that a lot of people will appreciate what you're saying for sure, and a lot of people might appreciate what the person I had on before you said as well. So as I said, we'll see in the comments. But the next question I want to ask you is, what are your thoughts then on the mandates from a governmental perspective? Is it an overreach, or is it a necessary precautionary measure?
I think it's 100% an overreach. I mean, you can probably guess that I'm going to say that, right? Because
Yeah.
and for the same reasons. I can take care of myself. You can take care of you. If you're terrified, then stay 6 feet away from me. You know what I mean? But if you want to get healthy, I would say jump onto Patriot Nightcap, fill out a jot form, get your health and wellness in check, and have more faith. What's your higher power? Pray, get healthy. No, I do believe that that's an overreach, Paul. I do. I for the very same reasons that I just expressed. So I'm going to go with health and wellness and focusing on that. I don't think that a cloth face mask does much. I think it's ineffective. And I'm telling you, I've experienced both. I've been in New York. I've seen what's happening out there, and the child abuse, and mothers are turning against each other because if one doesn't want to get the jab for their kid or for themselves, and the other families are alienating them. I mean, that's abusive. That's isolation. It's psychological terror, whereas in Arizona, we're just not talking about it. I mean, look at Florida. They're not talking about it. I have a friend who moved from New York to Florida. And the New York side said, well, what's happening in Florida? Like, doesn't the virus exist? She said, sure, it exists, but no one's talking about it. We're going about our lives. They're not wearing the face diapers. Their numbers are good. Now, listen, could weather have something to do with it? I suppose so. But I'm going to say that I'm going to err on the side of, get healthy, focus on your immunity, take your vitamins. If you're still terrified, then, wear your visor, your 5 masks. And it's not that I don't have sympathy, Paul. I do. I don't want to see anyone get sick. And this is why I stress health and wellness. But to make our children suffer the way that they're suffering is just not right. We know that they have very little risk of getting this, and if they do, they survive it. Okay, if they do get ill, they have mild symptoms or none at all. Then I know the fear is, oh, the child will give it to the elderly. I understand that. When I have felt ill, I take my Activate C, I build my immunity. I don't get around my parents. Okay, I use my common sense. But and I've had my 2 weeks of bronchitis, and I've gotten sick. And then I get over it, so I don't mean to sound crass or like I'm not sympathetic. I don't want anyone getting sick. And I guess that's why I'm stressing health and wellness. But to sit here and just rely on a cloth mask, which that's what everyone's wearing. No one's really got their N95s on. And the only thing that's going to stop a virus is a hazmat outfit. Okay. So it's like, and so I just think we're torturing our kids. And I think we all need to step up and use our common sense and let these children enjoy their lives and have their childhood. You only have your childhood once. It goes very quickly. So I'm glad, I miss my New York friends. I really do, but I'm glad that I'm not raising kids there. So I would just say if you're in a blue state or you're in a tyrannical state, You know, watch the Iowa Mama Bears. They have terrific tips on how to handle your school boards. I would say watch that video on Patriot Nightcap. Go to people's organization. I'm sorry, hold on, wait, just one second. I want to get this right. There was just a second here. Sorry, you might have to edit this a little bit.
Oh, you're fine. You're totally fine.
Okay, hold on a second, because I want to get it right. Oh no. I think it's people's, oh shit. You know what? I can't find it. I just interviewed someone and he told me about a website where you can go to, Paul, and I can't find it. You're gonna have to edit this out. I'm sorry. I can't find
Oh, no big deal.
You know what? I'll get it to you later, but there's a website you can go to where you can learn about your rights, and you can follow up, and there's a community of people who will come out and help you. So yes, I choose, freedom over fear, and I stand by that. And I've experienced both the New York and the Arizona. And I have to tell you, it truly is night and day. It truly is.
And I just want to ask, just for clarification purposes, what are your thoughts on the vaccine, and specifically parents who want to get children vaccinated? What do you think about all that?
That is so frightening to me because, listen, you're the parent. Again, you do you go talk to your pediatrician, and I'll talk to mine. Again, children are having mild to no symptoms. So the truth is, we don't know 20 to 25 years the effect that this is going to have. So I'd like to just leave it at that. I don't, I guess my position is, Paul, freedom of choice, freedom of speech. And I don't think that anyone, especially the government, should be telling you as a parent that you have to get that for your child. You are the parent. You should be able to talk to your pediatrician. For a fact, there could be ingredients in there that are not going to mix with your body. You should not be taking it. But so my position on that is, consult with your physician. But I would definitely say, look at your health and wellness, the health and wellness side of your life. Are you exercising? Are you taking your vitamins? And are you using toxic chemicals on your body, or have you gone toxic free? That's what I promote.
All right. Very good. And as we wind down here, I just have one more question for you, and it's, in a respectful way, where do you believe that the people who disagree with your views really get things wrong?
When they stroll up on me in a restaurant or other places, to tell me that I need to put something over my nose, or because I just don't think that it's using common sense. These are porous cloth, face diapers. And I think it's just ineffective. And I do resent that. I think to myself, you know what? Why don't you look at your health and wellness? And it's usually someone who is clearly not healthy. I have found, who is strolling up on me to remind me that I need to, cover my face. And I think it's offensive. I think it's an egregious overreach. And I'm quick to remind them, you're in my bubble. You need to get 6 feet back right now. So I think if, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for your rights. And for all of the HIPAA talk, and my body, my choice, and let me have my 900 abortions, they're like the first people to stroll up on you and tell you to cover your nose with a bacteria-ridden porous cloth. It's the height of hypocrisy and nonsense, in my opinion. And I deeply resent it. And I think that voice needs to come out, and it needs to be heard, and it needs to be respected, as well as natural immunity. We have to look at that. So for someone who says, look, I've had it, their antibodies are high, they have natural immunity, leave them alone. They're better off than you are with your 600 jabs. I guarantee you.
Mhm. And just not to harp on this too much longer, but just so we can clarify and more clearly articulate, do you believe that the core or the fundamental mistake that the opposing side makes is something along the lines of placing their trust in a new a new vaccine rather than taking the initiative to improve their own health? Or would you say that they're too trusting or too willing to put their trust in a vaccine? Is it something like that, or can you help me articulate that better? Like
Sure.
where, what is the fundamental core place that they kind of fall off where you guys diverge?
Listen, you know, uh, I'm not anti-vax in the sense that, my daughter hasn't had her measles, mumps, rubella. You know what I mean? Like these are, vaccines that have been around for a long time. But for something that is experimental, you're damn right. I'm going to be on the fence about this and I'm going to look at this. So again, everybody has to do their own research. What I don't appreciate is someone, coming in my space or telling me what they think I should do. So, and the truth is, if you're really connected to your gut health and you have an alkaline system and you're exercising and you're paying attention to your health, you're gonna stand a one hell of a better chance of getting over anything, whether it's the common cold, which by the way, coronavirus is in the common cold, or it's bronchitis, or it's a headache. I guarantee you, if you've been working out and diligent about, eating healthy and you're not stopping off at McDonald's every other day, then you're going to have a much better immune system to fight something off. So again, I would just encourage someone to say, you know what, let me look at my state and of being and my health. Let me address that. Let me look that, let me, drink water and the right things and take care of myself. And, mind your own damn business. If you want to go get the jab, go ahead. If you don't, then don't. That's where I stand. Freedom
All
over.
right. Well, fair enough. Well said. And before we wrap this thing up, Trisha, is there anything you'd like to say that you didn't already get the chance to?
Oh, that's very nice. No, I think I've said it all. but I will just say, listen, let's stop the fear mongering, please. And please don't roll up on me at a grocery store or a restaurant or, worry about yourself. The cloth masks, they're porous. We shouldn't be breathing in our own carbon dioxide. You're never going to convince me that that is healthy. You're just not. You want to wear the visor and the 5 masks, by all means, go ahead and stay 6 feet away from everybody. Go ahead. But mind your own business. It's kind of like driving a car. Just stay in your lane. I'll stay in mine. And, again, I think it's the hazmat outfit that's probably going to stop a virus to begin with. And I think we should all just really look at health and wellness and going green and eating healthy and, taking your vitamins. And you're going to stand, much more of a chance surviving anything, a cold, bronchitis, COVID-19. That's where I stand.
There we go. All right. Well, Trisha Rodriguez, thank you so much for your time. That was very educational and you spoke very well. So thank you again.
Paul, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.